care to join us?
I shall.
And your opening statement.
Oh dear, I didn't even think about that.
Better think fast.
All right. So we just wanted to get together with Dad today and talk about a few of our memories from Matthew's and my growing up years. And so we wrote down a list, and we just wanted to share some fun memories and just enjoy Father, because he's the best daddo. Okay, so first up, Matthew and Dad have both really enjoyed tennis over the years and both got to play in their respective high school and colleges.
Yeah, growing up, we lived a block from some free tennis courts. They were city courts, and I liked to play. I'd go over. Didn't know much about it. Didn't know really how to play, but I liked to go over, and it was good exercise and to play, and had a lot of fun doing that. My brother didn't really play. My sister might have a little bit, but had a good time doing that. Next.
Well, like, so you played intramural in college.
Yeah, I just messed around in high school. In college, since I enjoyed it in high school, I played intramurals in college, and we had just a group of independent guys. In fact, we were called the Independents. We came up with a real original name. That was the name of our, and we would play all the different sports. It might be flag football, it'd be tennis and all that. And I got to play in that and played some singles and doubles in that, and we just had a good time doing it. Had a lot of fun, and that gave me a little bit of background into it. And then after that was at the University of Arkansas. I'd gone to North Texas my first year, and then went to University of Arkansas after that. My mother's side of the family was from Arkansas. My sister had gone up there to the university, and she was up there at the time and working. She was in the information booth and the student center. But anyway, what was I talking about?
Intramurals and tennis.
Oh, okay. But we got up there and got involved with the group of people there, the Independents, and I became a counselor in a dorm. And there were some other counselors and sophomore council members, some other advisors. There was a counselor on the floor, and then there were advisors on the floor. Then there were sophomore council members on the floor in a freshman dorm. It was a 9-story freshman dorm. I was up on the 9th floor. We were in top notch. And I had my room open to the elevators and everything, and then there was like 4 wings, or 4 halls going off of it. And a lot of guys there liked to play tennis, so we would go out and hit a lot, just had a lot of fun, and formed our independent team, and we played all the different sports, and tennis was one of them. We just thoroughly enjoyed that. And after I graduated and went to teaching, I taught in Dallas for a little bit, and at Atwell Junior High. I went up through the 9th grade, and since I was interested in tennis and nobody else wanted to do it, I took the tennis coaching job there. So
that's so cool.
And so I had a good time doing that. There were some good guys, and we had fun with that. And from there, then I was junior high. Then I'm trying to remember, we got meeting this wonderful lady. We got married and
Didn't you
had some
play
kids.
tennis on your first date?
I believe we did.
I think you did.
I think we did. We went ahead. She liked to hit also, and we'd go out and just hit. I don't know if we ever really played a game, but we'd go out and hit. We both thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just a lot of fun and good exercise. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you reminded me. So she was all behind Matthew getting into tennis also, and you. However, you were more ballet and,
very much into
dancing and all that. And Matthew was more into the different sports and all. And so got him involved in it. And
well, when we were kids, we would go out and hit. Like the 4 of us would go just, hit at the tennis courts.
Yeah.
And Dad would always hit really hard. Yeah, he was really good. And we'd always be like, whoa. and like at all his shots and everything. It's very impressive.
So like 6 and 8 year olds, a regular shot seemed hard.
He was good.
So, but we did have a lot of fun as a family growing up, doing different things. That was just one of them. And then Matthew got involved in tennis.
He got the sports talent in the family.
And he ended up on the tennis team and all that.
Yeah, so we were out at the high school courts, me and you playing, when Coach Van Zandt was out there, and that's when he recruited me because
really? I didn't know that. I didn't remember.
Just kind of briefly thought about it, but then he'd come over and talk to us about playing tennis, and his I think he challenged us something. He's like, hey, if I beat you, then you have to at least try out for the team, because I was mainly going to play soccer.
Yeah,
and so but between that and then David Wilson was going to try and play tennis too, so I was like, okay, well, maybe this is something I should try and go for. So we played through high school, started teaching lessons, and then we got to play in a few tournaments. We won a few first places, a few seconds, a few thirds, so that's been fun to get to play in tournaments with you.
Yeah, that was fun. It really was.
Yeah, it's fun to get to watch y'all play tennis together, because like y'all were so much fun. Like y'all would just have such a good time with it, and like I could tell y'all were like laughing and joking and talking, and just everyone who played with y'all just really enjoyed you guys. It's just a good experience for them, just because y'all were the best and didn't get like mad and angry and like throw your rackets and like all that kind of stuff that some people would do. But y'all just really had a good time and enjoyed the other people, and like but I also enjoyed like watching y'all's skills and everything, because it was impressive. Yeah,
it was fun. It was fun.
And then when Matthew was younger, he played soccer, and you got to kind of coach a little bit on his soccer teams.
I did.
A little
I'm
bit.
the coach.
He was always the assistant coach,
Assistant
I think.
coach, yeah, not like
usually
head.
Carl Sanders' dad was the coach, and the dad, you'd see him during the games, you're running one of the sidelines while the coach would be on the other one. So he was always at the soccer practices and soccer games.
Yeah, that's fun. I enjoyed getting to go to your soccer games as well, and watching both of y'all.
Well, being left-footed, it threw people off with him.
Yeah,
so
that helped.
It does help.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you played soccer freshman year in high school then too.
Right.
Yeah, and so of course you got to go to your games.
Did Fauci coach the freshman too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to
It was
remember.
tough, wasn't he?
Yes, he was very
Yes,
tough. Yeah.
very tough.
And he's one of your friends.
Yeah.
Fosh was. So
Yeah.
Kind of friends.
Yeah. Taught with him and assistant principal with him there.
He's a cool guy.
He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Matthew was younger in elementary school, was it Cub Scouts?
Cub Scouts, yeah.
Okay. And then I know you got to help Matthew out probably with some of his badges and stuff like that.
Yeah, we did a few camping trips and all the badges. I don't remember all the badges as much as the camping trips and shooting the BB gun. And,
oh, nice.
those are the main memories I have. And then, of course, the big thing was the derby car building. Your dad, with his power tools, always got into that. So we would fashion the slimmest teardrop-shaped car with weights, like you were talking about, with the little washers to help give it a little more mass to it. So it's all legal, of course. At least I think it was. Looking back, I don't know.
I think
but,
everyone did.
Yeah, we just covered up with wood putty pretty good.
Yeah, and paint over it.
Yeah, but there were a couple of years where I made it outside the local, and you made it to, I guess the next thing. I remember one time it being in the mall. It was not the local one, but it was like the second stage.
Okay.
And so I won one, and then I think I lost one, so I got knocked out. But yeah, it was learned a lot. And I enjoy woodworking now, so it was fun to get some of those skills that kind of gave me confidence. And then I took shop class in junior high, and that gave me a little more confidence, and something I enjoy. And that's kind of my way to relax now, is to do some woodwork and whatnot. I still really enjoy it. So.
Yeah, Dad, that y'all got to do that together, and
right.
You're passing it on to like Noah and Jackson, so that's really cool.
Yeah, so Noah's already enjoying it. So.
Well, I hadn't thought about that, but I had taken wood shop in like junior high.
Oh, really?
That was and that's my only introduction to it, and it got me interested. You can actually build things and do things.
Yeah.
And live over it.
Yeah.
Come back with all 10 fingers.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yes, it was. It scared my parents to death.
Yeah.
Oh, and then science fair projects. Oh my goodness. In elementary school, every single year, they had all the kids do science fair projects. And some people did, these little whatever.
A volcano.
Like a volcano, yeah, or something, like growing a plant from
Compost.
seeds.
Yeah.
Compost, yeah.
Yeah.
But not in our family because mom and dad were scientists. So we did all this stuff that we didn't even know what it was. We did not understand the words. But, they taught us. They taught us about a lot of stuff.
No,
You learned.
they made
you knew
sure
what
that we
you were doing.
understood it.
You
Yes.
understood it because you had to explain
We had to
it,
explain,
answer questions.
to
Because
the
after
judges.
third grade
So
science
don't
fair projects, finally in 10th or 11th grade in high school, it finally caught up to it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember learning that when I was in second or third grade. The flow of electrons and boron and the different atoms and the exchange and compounds and whatnot. I was like, gosh, I kind of remember some of that stuff. But everything that we did went down to the molecular level as far as the explanation and the posters and the speeches and that was.
It was very elaborate.
intense. Yes.
And then dad would help us build all these crazy mechanisms. I remember one of mine was about condensation. So we built this huge apparatus, to explain and show how condensation works. And oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of some of my other
We did
ones.
infrared communication.
Okay.
I think that's what it was, kind of shooting across the room as far as using it to type out Morse code.
Okay.
And then another one was a water plant tester, whereas you could stick the probes and it would tell you kind of if it was at a point where it needed more moisture in the soil. And
Oh, y'all have good memories.
I can't remember the other ones.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that I forgot.
I'll have to think about it for a little bit, but I remember those two right off the bat because they stayed in my closet for a long time. But yeah, they were always interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really have much of a background in physical sciences. Just basic chemistry and maybe 1 or 2 semesters of physics was all. And then ended up having to teach physical science. I had mostly biology 1, biology 2, and then some physical science. And so that's when I had to go back and learn it. And so really y'all got the benefit from that, from me having to go back and learn some stuff because I didn't know much about it. Well, I take that back. I had taken a course, it was a correspondence course in electronics. I'd taken it way back, maybe before I went to college or about the time I was going. I remember the gray books, hardcover type things, and going through that. So I did have some background in it. And then just very, very basic stuff in college. But it gave me enough background to help y'all with the types of projects that you had, which made it fun.
Fun, stressful. Yeah.
We're talking about the one where you had to go into and describe the cones in the eyes as far as the colors. Is that the one you were talking about?
Oh.
Or was that a different one?
I did several with color. I did paper chromatography and then one where it was splitting the colors of light and stuff like that. Oh, what was that one called? Spectroscopy and fingerprints. I even remember the title of that one.
Wow.
Because we built a little fake spectrometer and we'd have a little car at the end of it and
yeah, I remember the car
splitting the spectrum of light. Yeah, good times.
Yeah.
It was so stressful. We hated that time of year, but we did actually learn a lot.
Yeah.
We got to work out in the shop with Dad and build things, and they
I
would
learned to
drill
solder.
us. What was that?
I learned to
Yeah.
solder
Solder.
electronics,
Exactly. Yeah.
LEDs and diodes and
Y'all in that
current.
home electronics course, that's where I really learned to solder and a lot about that. I'd completely forgotten about that. Not even had that course. It was a correspondence type thing.
That's cool.
It was fun. I learned a lot. Anywho.
A big cave.
A big cave. We were in a big cave in Kentucky, and is a big guided tour. I'm assuming 20 to 30 people and a tour guide, an actual person tour guide. And so they brought us to this one huge room, and of course there's lights everywhere that light the path. And one of the highlights of the tour is that most people have never experienced absolute darkness to where you can't see the hand in front of your face. So the tour guide's like, okay, this is the moment. This is something you've probably never experienced in your life before. We're going to turn on the lights, and everyone, you're going to experience absolute darkness. And so everyone's like, oh, okay. And they're like, hold on to something so you don't fall over, this or that. And so I was like, all right, here we go, 3, 2, 1, flip the switch. And then the tour guide's like, wait, who's got a light on? Where's this light coming from? And everyone's kind of looking around, and it was my little kid's shoes with little glow-in-the-dark patches on them.
Yes.
And so, of course, the parents panic and like try and hide my shoes under their jacket, and everyone's kind of looking around trying to figure out what's going on. So, of course, I was the only person with glow-in-the-dark shoes on,
Of course.
and so I don't think those people ever got to experience absolute darkness. So. So that's one of those big memories that you remember as far as
Yeah, the cave was cool, but this is what we remember.
yeah, this is what we remember, the glow-in-the-dark shoes.
Yeah,
So,
that saga.
I don't know how popular those were back then, but I
I
decided
think
to
they
do
They
it.
were,
Yeah.
yeah, they were.
So, new technology.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sure that was fun from the parents. I remember being like, okay, this is weird, but as a parent now, that would just be like,
Yeah.
of course, why
Of
didn't we think
course,
about this?
Yeah.
So.
We probably didn't know they were going to do that.
Right,
so.
right.
Yeah.
But they worked. That
That's
could have been a
true.
commercial for
That's
the
true.
shoes.
That's
That is
true.
So
Yeah.
light your path. So, but anyway,
Oh
that's
my goodness.
an interesting memory.
Yeah, so also in Kentucky, we went to Kentucky Kingdom, an amusement park. We went at least once. I don't know if we went more than once. But I know.
Yeah, I think maybe just once
Okay.
because we did the log ride, and then I remember you got to do the bumper boats, but I was
Yeah.
too short,
I
so I always
know.
wanted to go back.
Yeah, and
So they're like,
do
oh,
it.
we'll go back when you're older
You're
because
fine.
I couldn't reach the things.
You're old enough now, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't think it
Okay.
exists anymore.
No.
I think we checked just for the bumper boats. So.
And with the bumper boats, I think like I was in with the adults, not the kiddie ones, and like I couldn't get it to work, and so it kept turning in circles, and I was like, help. That was my memory of that. But yeah, so at one point during the day, the weather started getting bad, and then so we're like, oh, we should probably leave. It's starting to look like it's going to storm, and then dust clouds started coming up, and it was like dust, hurricane, tornado, kind of like you couldn't see in front of you. Like it was just dust everywhere, and we were trying to close your eyes so you wouldn't get dust in your eyes, and Matthew and I were hanging on to Mom and Dad, and we were trying to find the car, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
I can remember.
I've
it
never
was
experienced anything like
scary.
that since.
Never.
That was
Yeah,
a
that was
freak
crazy.
thing.
And then when you got in the car, I mean, you had dust everywhere. Eyes, mouth, ears, clothes. And it was like getting in the car even, through
Yeah.
cracks and crevices. And I don't know if we just had to wait it out for it to
Yeah.
stop, because I don't think it was
Probably so, we
driving
couldn't
that.
have driven safe.
Yeah, I remember just the walk from the park to the
Yeah.
car. That
Yeah.
was
That
the
was
main
so
thing I remember.
scary.
Yeah.
Oh my
It
gosh.
was bizarre.
Very crazy. Good times.
Yeah.
So I think some good memories that I have are of that center around pizza, because clearly pizza's amazing. And we're a very pizza loving family. We did not discriminate. We ate all different kinds of pizza, and they were all good in their own way. I know when I was in high school, I think that was when we were doing Mr. Gaddy's on Sunday afternoons. Do you remember kind of what we would do? They had buffet,
Yeah.
and so we would go in there, and because we went there every week, they knew us. They'd be like, the Malloys are here. All right, put in the barbecue chicken pizza, the apple pizza, dessert pizza, and then I like hamburger.
That
And so
apple
all
pizza's
right,
good.
throw those in. And so we would have our own buffet of exactly what we wanted.
Well, even though it was a buffet because Dad would go up there and request a special pizza. I remember they used to also just bring the whole pizza out to us.
That's
Remember that?
true,
So
yes.
it's like it's a
I'd
buffet
forgotten
except for
that.
us, and we'd
That's
sit in
right.
that little side
I
of the
remember
room,
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
and they'd bring the whole pizza out to us. Like, here you go. Okay.
Yeah, we were special. They loved us, I think.
We kept them in business.
True.
Tried to. Yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
good times.
Do you remember that time that we blindfolded him as for his birthday or something like that?
Who, me?
Dad?
Yeah.
Blindfolded
And
me?
we were going from church or something like that. It was around his birthday, and we blindfolded him because we were going to try and surprise him and take him to somewhere special to eat for his birthday. And then he was like, okay, well, the sun is coming from the west, and so now it's 2 streets over, so this and that. So he's like, oh, we're pulling up to Mr. Gaddy's. I'm like, well, that was pointless, but happy birthday anyway.
Yes, I totally remember that. Because they're like, Dad,
remember
that's
that.
not the point. You're supposed to go with the surprise. But Dad was too smart.
I found the
He was
bump,
like,
and so that was the drainage ditch by there, so we took the left on Mound. So,
Yes.
okay.
Oh,
Yep.
okay,
I'm
you're
sorry.
You're too smart for your own good.
Do you remember doing the animal tracks? I don't know why that's centered around church, but doing the plaster Paris and the animal tracks.
Yes. On Sandy Road.
On Sandy Road, we used to go
Yeah.
there. You'd take us out there and we do the plaster Paris and the little animal tracks, and then that's all I remember.
Then we would keep them.
Then we'd keep them and do something
Yeah.
with them.
But it was fun. Yeah.
I remember.
Like finding them, we felt like trackers.
Right.
You know, finding
Yeah.
them.
Oh, this is a animal.
Yeah, it looks like a
We didn't know.
bird.
Or a dog.
Or, yeah.
Or a lion. Who knows? There's no way to know.
Could
Tiger
have
or
been any
bear.
of them.
Yeah.
I forgot that, but yeah, we got in the little Chevrolet
Mhm.
Chevelle or
Chevelle.
something, hatchback.
Yeah.
And I remember like them like putting down the back seat, and so it was just like flat, and you and I would just like lay back there, and like we'd go along bumpy road, and it was like our
Yeah.
own little amusement ride.
Yeah.
Cheap.
Cheap.
Oh yeah, and then we would do Mazio's
Mhm.
back to pizza clearly. We would do Mazio's some nights. I can remember being in my ballet costume, so I don't know if we'd be like going before ballet or after ballet, but I can remember going on ballet nights, so it was Monday or Wednesdays or something back when I was in elementary school. And then when I was in elementary and maybe high school, we did Pizza Hut one night a week.
Book it.
Book it. Oh my gosh. And if you read enough books, in which we were both readers, you would get a little personal pan pizza every time you got like a star
On a button.
on your button. You get a personal pan pizza, and so we'd go to Pizza Hut a lot, and we would eat pizza and play games. Can you tell that?
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
About what?
the cards.
Oh, we played cards before the pizza came. And you would always win. We
I
played
was
speed or
older.
something like that.
I like
or
speed.
I never
War.
won games in cards. So
I was-
that's why to this day I don't like playing cards.
Oh no.
I played War all the way from Nacogdoches to Michigan in a car with Beth, probably for 13 straight hours, and I won 0 times.
Oh my word.
So between you and then Beth, I just don't play cards anymore.
Oh,
There's no point. I know the outcome. But anyway, we always got pizza afterwards, so that was okay.
Yeah. Well, some of us had fun playing cards.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, the winner. So,
Speaking of cards, do you remember that you went to Alaska
I remember that, yeah.
and for fishing? You did commercial fishing, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
And Dad and Richard played me and Beth in Hand and Foot like every week. Like we would do this all the time, and we became obsessed with that game. It's addicting. We became obsessed with that game, and you and Richard would beat us every single time. And Richard had this little trophy, and Beth and I were like, we want that trophy. We never got it because y'all beat us every single time. And the only way to communicate with Matthew was through letters.
I know, I'm getting these letters about this card game, and I'm just like, you know, she's got this one page, and half of the page is about this card game called Hand and Foot, and it took 2 weeks to get to me. And so I was like, okay, Hand and Foot, they're playing games, that's good.
It's kind of what we did while you were gone.
Yeah.
We missed you.
Oh.
Okay.
And we still play hand and foot some. In fact,
Yeah.
what is it, every other Tuesday
The girls do.
the girls
Yeah.
do, and starting this week
You
the
guys.
guys are going to be playing.
Mm.
While the girls are playing, the guys are going to be playing.
You and Richard and Terry Box and Byron.
Yeah, we're going to be playing while the gals are playing in another room. So we're
It's
going to
still
start that.
addicting.
Yeah, we're just about to start that. They've already been
Such a
playing
fun
a while.
game,
It
though.
is a fun game. Yeah.
You never get tired of it.
Mm-mm.